I can just make it through this, then ... If you're like most of us, you've probably had that thought or that attitude during these crazy times that we find ourselves in. But can I challenge that attitude as not necessarily incorrect, but perhaps incomplete? I want to talk about endurance. See, the idea of just getting by has something to do with endurance, but not everything to do with it. Oftentimes what we call endurance is mere survival. What the Bible gives us a fuller, more complete picture of what endurance truly is. And I believe that having a right understanding of endurance can be a game changer for us during this pandemic. In Thessalonians, Paul writes, "We remember before our God and our Father your endurance inspired by hope in our Lord Jesus Christ." The Greek word for endurance here and throughout the New Testament actually means the characteristic of a man who is unswerved from his deliberate purpose by even the greatest trials and sufferings. So as we can see, endurance is not primarily tied to the passage of time, but to the pursuit of a purpose. Endurance is not just survival. Endurance is being so attached to your purpose that you are able to outlast and overcome any trial. Harriet Tubman, Nelson Mandela, Corrie ten Boom. What do these three have in common? Each of them endured great hardship out of a deep sense of purpose. What is purpose? Simply put, purpose is the overarching reason that God created you. Obviously, purpose is going to look different for different people. But as Christ followers, I think all of our purposes generally revolve around two main things: knowing Christ and making Him known. Now, to make things even more clear, let me tell you what purpose is not. Your purpose is not your assignment. Let me say that again. Your purpose is not your assignment. Your assignment might be your job, your current ministry post, or any place that you find yourself serving at the moment. Although they are often attached to your purpose, assignments come and go. Purpose remains steady. When your assignments end, your purpose keeps you going. For Chandra and I, our assignment as campus missionaries has looked quite different over the past 6 weeks, mainly because we just can't be on campus physically. But our purpose to preach the gospel, make transgenerational disciples, and develop godly leaders is still going strong. In prison, Nelson Mandela, a lawyer by trade, was no longer able to practice law, but he still was a freedom fighter that passionately pursued justice. You see, his assignment as a lawyer had changed, but his purpose as a freedom fighter stayed strong, and it enabled him to endure 18 years of unjust imprisonment. It eventually led to his release and his election as the president of South Africa. But do you see how his endurance was directly tied to his purpose? Let's say you're a teacher or a coach. In this season, your assignment is looking a little different. Maybe it has even come to an end. Let me encourage you. Don't let that keep you from pursuing your purpose to educate and develop and mentor this generation for the glory of God. Here's the reality. No matter what your line of work is, assignments have expiration dates. Purpose does not. As disorienting and as discouraging as an assignment change can be, purpose keeps us encouraged and keeps us focused, even when external circumstances shift, sometimes abruptly. I think the cool thing about this season of needing to shelter in place is that our purpose does not have the same restrictions. Physically, we may be stuck, but our purpose can still be on the move. Here's the bottom line. Our sense of purpose is directly tied to our grace to not only survive this pandemic, but to be amazingly fruitful in the midst of it. That, my friends, is biblical endurance. Be encouraged. Pursue purpose. Hope is alive.